Did you know that inside your body there are two machines that never stop working, day and night, never complaining, never asking for anything in return? They filter your blood every minute of your life. In just 1 minute, they handle nearly half a cup of blood, removing waste, keeping what is precious, and allowing your body to stay balanced. These two machines are your kidneys, the silent heroes that most of us rarely think about until something goes wrong. The problem is that when the kidneys begin to weaken, the body rarely sends a loud alarm. There is no dramatic pain, no obvious symptom. Instead, the body chooses silence. Only the numbers in your checkups, blood pressure, blood sugar, sodium levels, the added sugars in your daily meals, these are the true voices of your kidneys. And when we ignore them, the damage continues to build quietly every single day. Professor Andrew S. Levey, one of the most cited kidney specialists in the world, has reminded us many times that chronic kidney disease often shows no signs for years. We usually realize it only when it is already late, if we do not pay attention to those silent signals. His words are not meant to create fear, but to awaken us. Even in the kitchen, the place that feels safe, there are hidden factors that can slowly drain the strength of our kidneys. Take a look around your kitchen. The foods that last the longest, the ones that taste extra salty or extra rich, the ones that are ready in a moment, they may be the very things that are testing the endurance of your kidneys. And if your kidneys could speak, they would not ask for a miracle pill. They would simply ask for small daily choices that allow them to breathe a little easier. Before we step further into this journey, I want to invite you to share something simple yet meaningful. Tell us your age and the place you live. Leave a message below, because your story may inspire someone of your generation who needs to hear a reminder like this today. If the kidneys could point a finger, they would not only warn about one single enemy, they would whisper about a trio that hides in plain sight: salt, sugar, and phosphate. 3 ordinary names, 3 familiar tastes, yet together they create the silent pressure that weakens the filters inside your body. Salt is the easiest to overlook because we grow up with it at every meal. A little sprinkle on the table does not seem harmful, but the truth is that salt holds water inside the body. When too much salt is present, blood volume rises, and the kidneys must struggle to push that heavy flow through their delicate filters. Over time, that constant strain scars the filters and raises blood pressure, which in turn damages them even more. Sugar works differently, but with the same end result. A sweet snack here, a sugary drink there, and the body is flooded with glucose. The kidneys must work harder to remove the excess, but this is not a fair fight. Chronically high sugar creates resistance in the body, which leads to diabetes and high blood pressure, the 2 most common causes of kidney disease worldwide. Every spoon of sugar may feel small, but over the years it becomes a heavy burden. The last member of this trio is less familiar, but far more hidden: phosphate additives. They are not the natural phosphorus found in beans or grain. These are chemical compounds added to processed meats, sodas, sauces, and packaged meals to enhance flavor and preserve color. Unlike natural sources, these additives are absorbed almost instantly into the bloodstream, overwhelming the kidneys that are already tired. When phosphate builds up, it pulls calcium out of bones. It leaves the skeleton fragile, and it creates deposits in blood vessels and the heart. What makes this trio dangerous is not that they shout, but that they whisper. They are present in foods we trust, foods we buy every week, foods we may even believe are safe. This is why the kidneys suffer in silence. Later in this journey, we will uncover a simple rule, something you can check with only 3 fingers, that will help you expose these hidden threats before they ever reach your table. When we think of danger to our kidneys, we often imagine rare toxins or strong medicines. Yet the truth is more unsettling. The most silent threats are not rare at all. They are the familiar faces in your kitchen, the foods you reach for without a second thought. The first is dark-colored soda and other sweetened drinks. They promise refreshment and comfort, yet they hide both sugar and phosphoric acid. Sugar pushes blood sugar levels higher, straining the kidneys to filter the excess. Phosphoric acid, added to create that tangy taste and dark color, is absorbed quickly and can overload kidneys that are already tired. Over time, this combination does not only stress the kidneys, it also weakens bones and encourages kidney stones. Many people drink these beverages daily without realizing the price their body pays in silence. The second is processed meat. Bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli slices, they are quick, tasty, and always available. But they are loaded with salt, preservatives, and animal protein that the kidneys must work hard to filter. Salt raises blood pressure, preservatives trigger inflammation, and heavy animal protein creates waste products that the kidneys must clear. The more often these meats appear on the plate, the heavier the hidden load becomes. What looks like a small breakfast or a sandwich can quietly accelerate the loss of kidney strength over years. The third is canned food and instant meals, soups, noodles, frozen pizzas, microwave dinners. They are convenient on busy days, but convenience comes at a cost. These foods are saturated with sodium and phosphate additives to extend shelf life and intensify flavor. A single serving can deliver half of an entire day's sodium allowance. When eaten often, they transform the kitchen into a silent trap for the kidneys. These three groups are not exotic. They are everyday foods, which is why they are so dangerous. Because they feel ordinary, we stop questioning them. But the kidneys never stop working, never stop paying the price for what enters the bloodstream. In the next part, we will look at foods that many people consider healthy, yet under certain conditions, they too can quietly turn into hidden enemies. Not every threat wears the mask of junk food. Some of the foods that people praise as healthy can quietly turn into risks, but only under certain conditions. This is where the story becomes more complex, and where awareness matters more than fear. Consider potassium-rich foods such as bananas, avocados, potatoes, and tomatoes. For a person with healthy kidneys, these foods are a blessing. Potassium keeps nerves steady and muscles strong, but when kidney function is reduced, even slightly, the body cannot remove excess potassium. The mineral builds up in the blood and begins to interfere with the rhythm of the heart. What once protected health can now endanger it. This is why doctors insist that potassium limits must be tailored to each individual. Context is everything. Dairy is another example. Milk, cheese, and yogurt have long been celebrated for building bones. Yet in the body of someone with kidney disease, they become a triple burden. They are rich in phosphorus, potassium, and protein. The phosphorus is absorbed quickly and pulls calcium out of bones, leaving them weaker instead of stronger. The potassium adds to the risk of imbalance. The protein demands extra filtration that damaged kidneys cannot always deliver. What was once nourishment can quietly shift into strain. Then there is the matter of excessive animal protein. Red meat, poultry, and fish are important sources of strength, but when eaten in large amounts, they flood the kidneys with waste products. The filtering units inside must work in overdrive, a state called hyperfiltration. Imagine revving an engine far beyond its limit day after day. At first it seems fine, but over time the wear becomes irreversible. Healthy kidneys may cope for years, but kidneys already under pressure can decline more quickly. These examples remind us that food is never simply good or bad. Its effect depends on the state of the body and the balance of the whole diet. The danger is not in a single meal, but in patterns that repeat quietly. In the next part, we will step into the kitchen itself and see how small, thoughtful changes at the stove can begin to shift the balance back toward protection and renewal. The kitchen is not only a place of taste and comfort, it is the stage where choices decide whether the kidneys will struggle or breathe more easily. The foods that seem harmless when chosen in a rush can quietly build pressure day after day. But with a few careful changes, the same kitchen can become a place of healing. Imagine a plate divided into 3 zones, half filled with fresh or frozen vegetables that carry little or no added salt, a quarter with clean, unprocessed protein, perhaps a piece of grilled chicken or a scoop of beans, the last quarter with just enough whole grain to give energy without overload. This balance is simple, yet it gives the kidneys relief without sacrificing flavor. The secret lies in the swaps. Replacing soda with water infused with lemon slices or cucumber, trading a deli sandwich for a warm meal of chicken or fish prepared at home, choosing rice, quinoa, or oats instead of instant noodles. preparing a pot of low-sodium soup on the weekend and freezing small portions for later. These choices may seem small, but together they turn the tide. Reading a food label becomes a form of protection. In 10 seconds, you can see what the kidneys will face. Sodium should be less than 5% of the daily value. Added sugars kept low. And most important, scan the ingredient list for the hidden word phos. If it appears, the food carries phosphate additives that the kidneys cannot easily handle. With practice, this quick check becomes second nature, a silent guard standing between your kidneys and harm. This is not about perfection or restriction. It is about intention. Every time you place food in your basket, you are either lifting a burden or adding to it. The difference is not always visible in the moment, but it accumulates. Soon we will reveal a simple rule you can test with just 3 fingers, a rule that makes these choices even clearer and more practical. It is a rule that has the power to turn confusion into confidence at the grocery shelf. We often feel overwhelmed when we stand in the grocery aisle. Shelves stretch endlessly, labels whisper promises of health, and yet hidden inside are the very things that exhaust the kidneys. The question is how to know quickly which foods to trust. The answer is simpler than you may imagine. It can be tested with nothing more than 3 fingers. The first finger points to sodium. Look at the nutrition label and check the milligrams of sodium per serving. If the number is below 140 or less than 5% of the daily value, the food earns your approval. If it climbs much higher, the kidneys will pay the price with water retention and raised blood pressure. The second finger points to added sugar. Scroll down to the line that says added sugars. If the number is close to 0 or under 5 grams per serving, it passes the test. If it is higher, that sweet taste may lead to higher blood sugar, higher weight, and eventually more strain on the kidneys. The third finger points to the ingredients list. Scan for the letters phos. Any appearance of this small cluster means the food carries phosphate additives. These are absorbed almost instantly and are much harder on the kidneys than natural sources of phosphorus. If you find them, put the product back. The rule is simple. If a food passes at least 2 out of 3 checks, it is generally safe to bring home. If it fails 2 or more, leave it on the shelf. In less than 30 seconds, you have transformed confusion into clarity, and you have given your kidneys the gift of protection. But there is still one truth greater than this rule. A truth that cannot be printed on a label or captured by numbers. It is the truth that decides whether your kidneys survive or decline. And that truth will only be revealed at the very end of this journey. We have uncovered hidden dangers, exposed the silent trio of salt, sugar, and phosphate, and revealed the simple rule of 3 fingers. But the most important truth does not live on a label or inside a recipe. It lives in you. Your kidneys are not machines in a factory. They are part of a living system that responds to every choice you make. No single food will destroy them in a day, and no single drink will save them in an instant. What matters is the pattern you repeat, the story you write meal by meal, week by week, year by year. Professor Andrew S. Levey, one of the most respected voices in nephrology, has reminded the world that kidney disease is not destiny. It is a process shaped by blood pressure, blood sugar, and the way we live each day. These are not numbers that appear by chance. They are reflections of the choices we carry from the kitchen to the table. The greatest protection for your kidneys is not fear. It is awareness. It is the decision to read a label before buying, to prepare one fresh meal instead of reaching for a packet, to drink water when thirst comes instead of soda. These acts may seem small, but they accumulate. They form a shield that keeps your kidneys working long after many would have expected them to fail. This is the truth hidden at the end of our journey. The future of your kidneys does not belong to the supermarket, nor to the food industry, nor even to fate. It belongs to you. Every step you take, every meal you prepare, is a quiet message to your body. I choose life, I choose clarity, I choose strength. So ask yourself now, what story will your next meal tell? Will it add weight to the burden, or will it lift it? The power rests in your hands, and the time to act is not tomorrow but today.